DeFi Kingdoms, where you can summon heroes, trade with other players, quest, and fight challenging enemies in a fantasy world brought to life in pixel art animation. Command your legion, claim your legacy.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to this week's AMA with us here, the DeFi Kingdoms team. Great, as always, to be here with you. I hope that all of you that celebrate American Thanksgiving had a lovely American Thanksgiving. We missed you all so dearly last week and are glad to be back. Hubert, first up, how was your Thanksgiving? How are you doing?
I'm doing pretty well, thank you. And Thanksgiving was nothing too exciting, but I did get a pretty strong food coma, I would say, as turkey does its work. How about you?
That is the priority. It was pretty good. I took a nap before and after dinner, so that's pretty nice. Dreamer, how are you doing? How was your Thanksgiving?
Oh man, I'm doing pretty good. Thanksgiving was sponsored by Costco. They had this little thing where you just like buy it, put it in the oven, and it does all the things, and you don't have to cook forever. So it was very efficient. Although I missed having a big giant turkey in the Traeger this year. No food comas. I'm turning the big 4-0 here in another week or so. So I'm trying to not get sucked into the holiday food since I lost about 40 pounds over the summer, and I'm trying to hold it until I hit 40 and be like, yay, I lost 40 pounds on the year I turned 40. So the holiday of food wasn't too fun for me, but it did taste good in moderate portions, sponsored by Costco prepped food.
Nice. Costco prep food, honestly, a lot better than I feel like people expect it to be.
It was super good. The stuffing was good. I've always had like box stuffing, but it was actually like quality stuffing, and then had a big slab of turkey and all the other things. So for like $28 too.
Yeah. I mean, you can't beat the value for sure. And happy early birthday. We'll have to revisit that in next week's AMA, but we'll just preemptive, get you started now.
Oh man, what day is the AMA next? Oh yeah, it's not on my birthday. Okay, cool. I think
that's both good and a shame simultaneously.
This day's not really gonna be like a celebration day. I don't know. I think it's just gonna be like, oh man, that's an ugly number.
That's fair. Yeah, that's
moving
on. Winston, how was your Thanksgiving? How are you? And go ahead and give us the rundown on what fights we will be spectating today.
All right. I'm going to flip the script there a little bit on what you said and just go in the excuse me, it's so dirty, dusty out here. Just go in the opposite order. We got a tournament. Winston. What's that?
Said you're such a rebel.
That's right. Yeah.
Going in the opposite order.
I was like, I don't know what you're talking about, but I am. I am, dude, totally. Like a modern rebel, not like the South kind of a rebel. like a Billy Idol. That was
2025 rebel.
Woke rebel. Webble. It's a Webble. Excuse me. Wow. So we've got a tournament today. There's going to be the full loadout. So you've got 4 bouts you can vote on now at 50 Joule in each one, and then there'll be 2 semifinals that are, well, I guess Final 4, semifinal, whatever. Call it whatever you want. That is going to be 100 Joule each, and then finally 200 Joule. And then I also challenged Stardust to a bout today. So there's going to be 2 of those. We're going to do a level 15 for 250 Joule, and then a level 20 for 250 Joule. So don't forget, you can find those down here. They won't be behind the Johnny, what was I calling him? Johnny McFingers or something, the whale that has fingers and wears gloves. And I was calling him something really silly. But if you click on Spectate Sponsor, you can find it in here and then vote on it. Yeah, thanks for asking, Bull. On my my Thanksgiving was good. We went up to Don Johnson's house. He is not the Don Johnson you're thinking of. He is my wife's grandfather, and his name is Don Johnson. So I just call him Don Johnson. I think this might be the first time I've actually explained who he is. He's 90 years old. Her aunt and cousin live up there. I don't know how people. It comes out different every time I say it. Her aunt and cousin live up there, and her cousin just had a baby, so we got to go and see this baby and hang out with it. And babies in that first month, it's gone so fast, but they're they don't know about being sad yet, and they don't cry, or when they cry it's because they need something real specific. It's like a Tamagotchi or something, it's real obvious how to take care of them generally. So it was pretty fun to go up there and do that. We stayed at an Airbnb that was in a forest. I guess that's pretty common in Washington, is you can just most of it's in a forest. So if they weren't actively fighting it back, it would all be in a big forest. As far as food went, tasty stuff. I won't go into details because Dreamer's over there trying to not think about it, so I won't say too much about it. But it was good. They took care of us. There's some delicious food. And then finally, I think that's it. I think that's everything. I think that's all the stuff I was supposed to say. So I was gonna say finally, I'm a Sam's Club guy. So you Costco guys are pretty bougie, but whatever, man. I do Sam's, and I'll tell you why before Mom loses his mind. Everybody loses their mind. Let's all set down. There is 25% of the amount of people at Sam's than there are at Costco at any given time. Exhibit A, Exhibit B, number 2. Here we go. Ready for this? At Sam's, you can check out with your phone, the entire thing. The only person you have to talk to is a dude who pretends to look at your receipt going out of the door. That's it. There's only 2 reasons.
I think there's only 25% of the people because the other 75% have better taste.
75% people are rich, I guess. No, I don't know, man. I go into Costco and I feel like I'm not gonna. It could be because Utah, the Costco by my house is one of the biggest ones in the world. It's a relatively new one, and it's fucking enormous. So it has a gas station and all the bells and whistles on the inside, and people come from all around northern Utah to shop at the big fuck clobbering Costco. And it's right across the street from that, regular size Sam's Club that has exactly the same stuff. See, self-checkout, I'm not even doing that. I'm not gonna go through a line and beep shit. That's someone else's job. I got my phone.
Dude,
I'm just gonna scan things as I put them in my cart.
One word for you, just or maybe one.
Decide what it is, and then
3 words,
on me
4 words. Hot dog and Coke, $1.50.
Sam's has it for $1.47.
No, they don't.
Yes, they do.
It's all fake. It's rigged.
Oh, okay. Well, I can't argue with that. It could be fake. That's true. I could just be lying. They don't have do it yourself checkout, and it smells in there, and it's always crowded. And
I mean, the best part of Costco self-checkout is that it's not actually self-checkout because there's always a person with the scanner gun that does it all for you. It's the best.
That's the worst experience, though. It's not only
speak.
are you doing self-checkout, but somebody is in your business let's see your card. Come on.
No, they don't speak at all. It's a machine. It's amazing.
They always talk to me, dude. Every single time.
That sounds like a personal problem.
I've got a nice face. I'm not, I'm not brandishing a firearm as I'm walking around in there,
So it sounds like you just don't like people and you prefer activities that don't involve you interacting with people.
I think that's a stretch, a bit of a stretch. This is the last hot take that's probably going to blow this whole thing up.
The whole time is you don't have to deal with people.
The last hot take here is that historically,
sure that I have a good experience and I don't like it.
Most of the people I bump into at Costco are terrible, almost to a man. It's you're walking in there and you're trying to get a snack, and there's a lady with 17 kids, and they're like, this isn't meant to feed your whole family. Get a snack and break it up. They don't have to give you 17 snacks. I'm trying to just get some sweatpants, and there's a dude standing there, and he's right in front of the sweatpants, and he doesn't move for 15 minutes. That's Costco. That's what Costco's like.
I think you need to go to a different Costco.
I agree.
I did comment that my Costco
You
is
did, you did.
exceptionally out of control. Like I'm not exaggerating. One moment, please. Here. Oops. Let's see.
If anybody hasn't seen the stand up on Netflix of is it Shane Wang? He has a Costco bit that's really funny as we conclude our Costco Sam's Club talk.
All right, there you go. 235,000 square feet.
I mean, that seems unnecessary.
So I will say that we're playing with fire over here. We're doing something that we shouldn't be doing, and maybe that is coloring my Costco experience. So I think I've probably said more than I should. So I'm gonna sail it back over to you, Bolon. So consider checking out Sam's Club, though.
Fair enough.
Honestly, I would accept sponsorship from either. So if either one wants to like get on here and say why they're the best, like just send Bolon a message and we'll get it worked out.
I mean, Sam's Club is quite literally the Walmart of big box stores because it is owned by Walmart.
It's the Walmart of Walmarts, right? It's like Walmart is Walmart, but Sam's Club is Walmart too.
And Walmart has such a great reputation.
I'm done. I mean, to be fair, Costco does have a stellar reputation. Like, as far as I can tell, they take care of their people and they like try to sell good products at a reasonable price. I will say Costco, hands down, better reputation than Sam's.
Yeah, I used to work at the cell phone booth in Costco long ago, and I enjoyed that job quite a bit.
Nice. Very nice. All right. Well, with that, I guess first off, I just have to say Taco Bell. I don't actually have anything to say about it, but I feel obligated to say the word or words. But with that, I guess we can roll into some questions now, because that is allegedly the reason that we're here. So, oh no, wait, that's a lie. We have another update. Crap, never mind. First update, Hubert.
Oh, hi.
You want to talk about Serendip?
Yeah, sure. So, yesterday we completed our next phase of the Kaya pause, and that included, being unable to list anything on any of the NFT marketplaces. Previously, we had already made it so you couldn't buy from them. It also made it so that now you can no longer start quests or expeditions. You can still complete them, but only until Wednesday next week. After that, the only option you'll have for your heroes is to cancel their quest or expedition, which will give you no rewards. So if you do have any pending profession quests over there, just recommend that you claim those before Wednesday next week and then get your heroes off. We also, in doing that, activated the ability to purchase Swift Thistle and Sailfish on DFK Chain through the gold vendor. I see that there was quite a few Swift Thistles purchased, and that price has gone up quite a bit more than I think what you can get on the decks at the moment, which is interesting to see that that had happened. Yeah, we did adjust things quite a bit, I'd say, as far as like compared to last time when we did when we went from the chain that shall not be named to Klaytn, now Kaya. We also had put those on the gold shop, and the parameters for that were a lot looser, I would say. But the situation was quite a bit different as far as like the value of gold and the number of heroes out there and everything, the number of players. So you might notice that the price change action is in some ways faster going up and in some ways faster or slower going down. It is around, I think, if 30-ish or so are sold in a day on Swift Thistle, it'll stay about steady at the price. If it goes more than that, then the price will go up on average. And if it's below that, it'll go down on average, is kind of how that works. And at the same time, we also did adjust the parameters of the golden egg, which did not get put in the announcement, unfortunately, but just noting that has also been adjusted and is kind of the same it doesn't increase more than it used to, but it does decrease much slower than it did. I believe that's how we did that. So yeah, so those things were changed, and then let's see, is there anything else? Also, you can no longer bridge from Metis back to Kaya. So if you have heroes that are still there, they're going to be kind of stuck on Metis for the next short while. We're going to have to do some data migration to make those heroes bridgeable over to DFK chain without there being any issues. Which there could be if we don't do that. So until that's done, those heroes are just going to be there on Metis, and you can use them there. So we'll have more updates about that. And after next week, when you can only cancel quests, we'll be starting to gear up towards turning off our API support of Kaya, which I think we'll give it about a week before we do that. And once that happens, it may become kind of tricky to get your heroes or other NFTs off of Kaya. So definitely recommend doing it beforehand. Basically, what's going to happen is anything that happens on Kaya is not going to be getting tracked by the API. So like if you have a hero that is still in a quest and you cancel that quest, the API is likely not going to update to show that they are now free from the quest. And then, so they would be free, but it doesn't think so. So our front end may not be very cooperative with you going to bridge it at that point. Though there are still contract interactions you can do. It's just a big pain. So anyway, very, 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 very strongly recommend that you just bridge everything off before 2 weeks from now, just to make everything as convenient as possible. I think for those that don't do that, there will likely be people coming into Discord and asking how they do stuff. And hopefully if they have heroes that are just there that were already not involved in anything, not meditating, not questing, they're just idle, like those ones should still be pretty easy to bridge off, I would say. It's just the ones that are not idle that will be potentially tricky. So but yeah, I'm sure we'll see people asking about it, and we'll have to help them figure it out. So yeah, did I miss anything? Does that sound about like everything?
I believe that was everything. So thank you for that overview. Question for you from chat, because I don't remember the flow, and I'm curious if you do. To withdraw your jewel from the Sarandel jeweler, do you have to cancel and unassign all of your power-ups first, or can you withdraw it and it will do all of that?
I need to just ignore what you said, and I see what 91 Karma said, and I'm also very, very curious about what is the icon over that archer. I have never seen that before.
That's your precision potion.
Oh, someone used it. Thank you. It's so unpopular that I just don't even recognize it. Okay. I haven't used it either, obviously, as I didn't recognize it. Anyway, so you were saying something about the jeweler. I didn't quite catch it. I assume you were asking about the emergency withdrawal. And yes, you can emergency withdraw now if you had locked jewel in the jeweler on Sarandel. There will be no penalty for withdrawing early. You'll get all of your jewel back. Do not try that on DFK chain, because that is not how it works over there, and you will lose 50% of your jewel if you do that.
So it was related to that, but actually different. Do you need to unassign all your heroes and cancel all of your power-ups first, or will it automatically cancel them all if you just withdraw?
It does automatically. Well, it kind of doesn't, but it does. I mean, you can withdraw. You don't have to go and cancel, I think, everything. But it kind of creates a situation where the power, like, it's fine. I don't need to go into the details. It creates a little bit of a mess that if you were to go back and like recreate your power-ups and do all that stuff, like it requires you going in and canceling everything before you can get back into it. But you're not going to need to worry about that on Kaya, I don't think. So you could just emergency withdraw and start bridging and not worry about the power-ups.
Fair enough. Awesome. Thank you, Hubert. All right, now we're going to roll into some questions here. Starting off with you, Hubert. I know it's been asked and answered about how delay damage calculations work versus channeling. Delay damage at the time of casting, channeling when channel resolves. Some specific scenarios to see how this would work. So this would be in a rock bach hunt. The mama bach, sorry, it's hunting season, Mama bach is channeling Mighty Gust, and the pirate casts Curse of the Sea, which lands right after the mama casts Mighty Gust. So all the Bachs get boosted evasion from Mighty Gust, and then Curse of Sea goes off. Is the hit percentage calculated when cast or when the damage hits?
So the accuracy of the hit is calculated when it was cast. However, the evasion is not checked until the hit occurs. So it's both.
And neither simultaneously.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay, so hit the accuracy is done on cast, but the evasion is done on hit.
Right.
So similarly in PvP with smoke bombs, if it's being channeled and a smoke bomb is dropped, it is an effective tactic because it would increase evasion.
Right. Yeah. Evasion always applies as the hit is resolving. It's not like accuracy is something that can be saved in a delayed ability, but yeah.
Nice.
So I guess in a different example, like if you were to do Curse of the Sea while blinded and then were cured of your blindness afterwards before it goes off, like you're going to still have bad accuracy on that Curse of the Sea.
Gotcha. Yeah, that's a good counterpoint. Last part of this, for the chance to fear and determining the hero with the lowest current HP, would that be at the time of casting or at the time of the ability going off? And would it be before or after that damage, if so?
I think I need to hear that one more time to make sure I answer that right.
Yeah. It has a chance to fear the hero with the lowest HP. When is the hero with the lowest HP determined?
I think it would be during the resolution of it. Thinking about how that would be programmed. Because it's targeting everybody, and then it's kind of as a result of everything. I believe even it probably is looking at the post-attack HP, but I'd have to double check with Beetle if I want to know for 100% sure.
Okay, but you think it would be essentially at the very end?
Yes, I believe that would be how that we would normally program that.
All right, nice. Sorry. Okay, so that concludes that question. I'm going to circle back real quick because there was a question from chat as well that I just saw. If a hero is still assigned to power up in Sarandale, such as Wild Unknown for Expeditions, it will not prevent the hero from being assigned the same power up in Crystal Vale. You're good.
Does it do that currently?
No, not that I'm aware of. At least it shouldn't.
Yeah, I don't think we have any sort of cross-chain thing. I mean, you can have, like, if you were someone that like regularly bridged your heroes between the chains to do profession quests or anything, I guess, like you could have power-ups on them on both chains, and you know, it didn't really do anything.
Oh, it does prevent them currently, is what Sir Worm says. Okay, we'll take a look at that then. In that case, cancel all your Wild Unknowns before you bridge them, but we'll take a look at that as well, because it shouldn't stop them from having the power up regardless. Winston, can you take a look at that at some point when you get a chance, by the way?
I sure can. Yeah, I know it definitely does on the same chain, but yeah, I'll take a peek at that.
Thanks, Winston. So yeah, we'll check that out.
Hard now that we've made it hard to like assign power-ups at this point on Kaya, but if you still have a hero over there.
Yes. All right. Yeah, so we'll take a look at that. Good call out, Sir Worm. Thank you for the heads up on that. And I'm glad you were here to respond live also. All right,
And if
so
it did, one last thing. If it did,
Yep,
it is a front end issue. Like our contracts aren't doing any cross chain checking, so it's probably an easy fix if it is doing that.
even better. Good deal. Awesome. This next question I'm going to kick off, but others may chime in as well. There should be a way to make heroes more valuable if they've actively participated in PvE and PvP battles. Time invested and the number of fights fought should matter. Thoughts on like heroes' battle history being visible on the card and providing some kind of benefit, because right now someone could spend 1 to 2 years actively fighting with their heroes, and then another player could come in and buy a hero from the tavern and re-roll it. So there's a couple of pieces to this, right? So in terms of like ongoing rewards, we do have the hunt reward system that is still on the roadmap. Yes, I know it's still on the roadmap, but that is something that's planned, that will also be backdated, that is meant to be a reward for continually fighting. Essentially, the more hunts you do, the more of that reward you would get, and then that reward obviously is a reward. I can't go too far. We haven't said that much about it yet, but so that is something that we have planned. As far as like having the battle history visible on the card or something like that, I mean, honestly, that would just be super overwhelming, I think. But in terms of like the number of fights fought, that is more relevant from a player standpoint than from a specific hero standpoint, generally speaking. That said, the thing that makes heroes more valuable because they've actively participated in PvE and PvP is experience. So you're leveling up those heroes, you're gaining experience on them and taking them to higher levels, which makes them, a more valuable hero or more, usable hero in certain circumstances, whatever the case may be. But to the point of like, somebody could spend 1 to 2 years actively fighting and not gain value, and somebody else could come in and buy one off the tavern. Well, if they're buying a level 20 hero and re-rolling it, they're buying that hero from somebody who spent the time fighting with that hero to level up that hero. So the person who spent that time saw some kind of value gained because they had to have sold that hero for that new player to buy a level 20 hero. We don't just sell them. So, I think experience is a big part of that. As far as the rewards themselves go, we added the chests for participating in PvP. So we have done some stuff on that front. We have the backdated hunts reward system planned for PvE as well. So we've got something going for that side. We've also, I think, briefly mentioned, but we have some kind of reward that we would also like to do for patrols that is based on like numbers. Again, I don't remember how much we've said, so I don't want to say too much. But for people grinding combat, we do have things planned that we want to add to that. But as far as like, well, this hero has done 400 hunts, like that's where experience comes into play for that hero. It's more relevant in our system that the player has done 400 hunts than that specific hero. Hubert, anything you want to add to that?
Yeah, I guess I'll just add, for something like that, like that means we needed to add new like per hero tracking that we aren't doing currently. So for every hero that exists and that is used in combat, we would now be using more storage for them. Maybe if we're really special with how we limit things, we could potentially keep that storage pretty low. But it would be something we need to update, like 3 storage slots per battle, basically. At a bare minimum, probably be closer to, well, I mean, per battle, it'd probably be about 3. But in addition to everything else that gets added, and then when you're bridging, you would also need to bridge that data as well, so that it travels along with you, with the hero. So it kind of creates a lot of extra overhead and extra cost for you guys if we were to do that, and potentially for us as well, depending on when things get reported and if it happens like when we do our results or when you claim. So it would raise costs. I can imagine like what maybe the idea here is that say you complete 100 hunts and then you get like a perk, for example. Maybe heroes get perks for completing a certain amount of content, and that perk is like gain, plus 5% to a stat or something like that, and it's just kind of is treated permanently like that once they reach that point. I'm not necessarily completely opposed to the idea, but it does increase the complexity and cost of things more to do it. So I'm not sure that it would be like the wisest choice for us at the moment. But if you did see, you find something that's done 200 hunts and it gets to have 2 different perks and it has 2 different stats that are plus 5%, something like that. I could see that being more valuable if it worked that way. So not necessarily opposed to the idea, just it does have a lot of technical issues that would need to be resolved. It would not be an easy thing to do. And also we'd have to backdate everything. And so we'd have to collect data on all heroes that have done hunts or patrols or anything else that we'd want to track. And then go in and manually update their data to include those counters. For that could be a lot of heroes. I don't know how many different heroes have done combat content, but it would probably be a lot. So a pretty big effort anyway.
Real quick, sorry to butt in, but 1 minute 40 seconds to vote on these 2 bouts that we've got here. It looks like my friendo was able to snatch victory from Kurt, and St. Andres snuck past Rising Sun. That was the last one we were watching. That was pretty exciting. They were fighting it out. Toon beat Level Up, who is Spassvogel, and then kind of a fast one between DFT and Mellow Fellow. I noticed that Mellow lost a hero kind of early, and I think he just was like, fuck it. I'm gonna let this one go, and he moved on with his life. So 100 jewel on each of these. So make sure you get in there and vote on them. You don't want to miss that. Also, I was going to comment on including all the information for just the battle information and attaching that to heroes somehow. Like, I think there's a universe where it would be cool. Like now we kind of have like a birthday cake every year to celebrate our birthday. Like, it would be cool if there was an annual birthday tournament or something, and then that hero got something similar to like a PJ badge. It's almost like you could pick the badge that you showed maybe or something. I don't know. I think there's cool stuff like that, but just keeping track of everything and showing everything or trying to reward based on everything just seems like an awful lot of work. And I don't know that it actually, like, just knowing, this guy fought in 500 bouts and he still is not good enough that the person who owns him wants to keep him. He's still selling him. So, like, I don't know. I just don't know that it really does anything from a value add for me, unless we turn it into like, 500 means you get free stuff now somehow. So I don't know. That's kind of what I was thinking. Make sure you go vote on Nevermind. You can't vote on these anymore. Make sure to check back in like 10 minutes probably, and we'll have a final for you to vote on. So yeah, thanks. Back to you, Bolon, and the questions. Thank you.
Absolutely. Let's see. Hubert, thoughts on adding a filter in the hero catalog to show or not show all dead heroes, all deceased heroes?
That sounds like something for a zip list, perhaps. If I understand, I think we even kind of had a discussion about what this was specifically asking for before this meeting for the AMA. So yeah, I think it sounds like we just kind of need to upgrade our filters somewhat. So that's a zip list thing, I would say.
Nice. Thank you. Any thoughts for Pirate adding for D&D terms nat 20s and nat 1s on their rolls? The question is actually about nat 20s, to be fair, but I'm going to add the nat 1 part.
Yeah. I think adding the nat 1 maybe makes it more fair, though I'm sure people wouldn't like that. And I guess for those who don't play D&D, a nat 20 is going to be like your critical hit, and the nat 1 is going to be a fumble where you potentially cut your leg off or something. or die. That can happen sometimes too. And so yeah, I mean, if we were to do something like that, kind of become berserker-esque in a way. But I also just don't really think Pirate needs more like power spikes than it has at the moment. But yeah. I'm sure people wouldn't like their pirates starting to fumble either, but maybe they would. I don't know.
I think it'd be fun personally, but you know. Awesome. Let's see. Dreamer, question for you. Is it possible to port Serendale over to Avalanche C chain?
Question for me. Oh man, I thought Hubert was just gonna steal the show the entire time, but I shall add. Is it possible for Serendale to port over to Avalanche C chain? I'm not a overly technical person. When it comes to this stuff, we have experts like Hubert, Magnus, Fox, and others that have contributed to that. But I'll take a shot at my answer, and anybody wants to add, feel free. So first, like ability to rather than willingness, ability to, yeah, EVM compatible. Be able to relaunch on C chain. However, the initial launch in Klaytn, we had to do a lot of refactoring to kind of fit into some unique deviations from like your standard EVM code stack, and as a result, like it's as optimal as it can be on Kaya. I imagine if we did want to go to another chain, we would look to see if there are any other enhancements. And even if we wanted to like quote unquote port it over, it isn't a copy and paste thing. It's like a bunch of different copy and paste things, I suppose. But it would be a lot of work. Probably in terms of time, it'd be a multi-month timeline. We probably could do it. And it wouldn't, when I say could, I mean like break the chain. When we looked at subnet back in the day and we were on the chain that shall not be named, I think one comment was, C chain's not even an option. That there is no ability to. It would probably break the chain back then. Now you go into willingness. Be like, okay, let's assume that we'd be okay. It wouldn't break the chain. We'd be able to fit everything in. We had enough time and everything. Would we want to do it? Would you guys want that? Well, if we look at cost, when we compare everything to the holy grail of DFK chain, which is made specifically to support our DFK things. If we compare it to others, the cost would be higher than DFK chain. Maybe would be less than Metis. The people on C chain is probably higher. And side note, Avalanche is really focused on C chain right now, so it's kind of an interesting question. That's probably where this came from. But I do think that we're not looking to do that right now. And if we did, it would probably be coupled with some type of a deal to support and fund it being safe and relaunched, very professionally and reliable. But I think like something smaller would probably be better. When we went to Metis, we tried to look at their technology and what it could handle and build something around that could fit into it. We'd probably do something similar if we were to consider or get closer to like a C chain presence. There's Ragnarok out there. I think people have been speculating where that would go. Something like that would probably run very well on C chain because it isn't. It's like the anti-Serendale. It's like totally different approach. It's supposed to be a little bit lighter on chain, but still connect on chain, lower barrier to entry, simpler to the point, like very specific play that should be easy to scale. However, a complete copy and paste of Serendale, it would have to be, coupled with a pretty good collaboration with some funding and probably some refactoring over multiple months. So I don't know how important that question was. I only had one bull on, so I tried to make it as long of an answer as I could because I'm jealous that everybody else gets to talk and I'm just here just sitting here. Just joking. Hubert, anything to add or correct?
Let's see. The only thing I guess I would add is like if we were to just port over Serendale as is with no changes and had profession questing and whatnot. Currently, it's a little less than 10 times more expensive on gas than it is for Kaya. So I guess that would be another thing too. If we were to, like you said, do something that's lighter that doesn't involve as much gas as like what we do with professional questing, then that's a different story. But I don't see people wanting to do profession quests at 10 times more expensive than what it was on Kaya. So
that is a fair and relevant point. But we'll see. We'll see what the future holds. Hubert, follow-ups for you, or additional questions, I guess, for you. Any thoughts on having an enchanting event to encourage the use of dust and fragments?
Yeah, I'm not sure. I think there's a second part of this question that
Would you like that part also?
yeah.
Also, any thoughts on cheaper / less powerful summoning, or less powerful enchanting options geared towards PvE?
Yeah, so I mean, I guess as far as options would go, we wouldn't want, if there were cheaper options, which there are some cheaper options that don't require any fragments, but those are generally like durability, like saving things. But there are some like defense increasing ones and others that only require dust and no fragments. So those are out there. But yeah, as far as there being like an event to get more, I'm not sure. Like, I guess I kind of saw this as we kind of talked about this as well. Like for example, the party hats, there were quite a lot of those that were minted, and they have kind of a larger amount of dust and fragment output relative to, like, I guess for their rarity, like how many of them exist versus other things. Like they're not higher than other seasonal equipment that you can get, but they are of the same tier. So, there is a way to get a decent amount of dust, but yeah, I mean, I recognize it's not exactly the cheapest thing ever. If we were to add even cheaper ones, they would need to be pretty low effectiveness, and I wonder where that bar is. Like, would somebody feel like would they even go through the effort to add the enchantment for like a 1% increase to something or 2% increase or to something? We would need to balance it against everything else that is there. So maybe people would, just to get a little bit more out of their equipment, and we could consider doing that. But I think we would have to keep it within the bounds, and to say it's for PvE versus PvP, I don't know that there's really that much of a distinction. Like, if it makes your hero better, unless you're saying it doesn't work in PvP specifically, and this enchantment it does not apply while you're in PvP, I don't think I want to do anything like that.
Very nice. Yeah, I think that makes sense. And as always, we appreciate your insight. So let's see. Would it be possible to add a multiple cancel for selling heroes now that we have added a multi-start queue for selling heroes?
Yeah, if there's not a multi-cancel, then I guess we maybe overlooked that. We were trying to like add multi to everything, so multi-cancel listing is what we're looking for.
Yes.
All right. Well, we can see about that. I don't know I can promise anything right away, but we can see.
Nice.
Probably not in time for it to be useful for what's on Kaya, unfortunately. So sorry to those that have a lot.
Yeah. Which, on a different note, but also gonna go on a list of maybe zips, maybe beetles, but adding in the equipment viewer, it currently shows you the items, and then like how many of them you own. The question was the idea of having a like unused equipment column as well, so that you can see, I have 4 Gorbos and 2 of them aren't being used. I will note that we do have an unequipped filter, so it's not necessarily exactly the same thing that you're looking for, but it can get you at least closer. But outside of that, I think that's something that we can take a look at as well. All right, let's see. I got a long one for you here, Hubert.
Real quick before you get into the long one. That last bout's over. Toon snuck by Dragonfly. He ran him over is basically what happened. He ran right through him. And now you can vote on the 200 jewel final. You've got 7.5 minutes, so you've got a moment. Also, while you're there, don't forget to click down here and vote on the Stardust bouts that I'm going to be doing here. So those are in 45 minutes. Thanks, Bolon.
Thank you, sir.
And one other thing, and I'm glad that last thing that you were talking about was not directed at me because I was not paying attention. And instead, I was looking at our contract code, and we do actually have multi-cancel in the contracts. So we did not miss them. I think maybe they just didn't get added in our front end. So technically they exist. I don't know if is Zip listening right now.
I don't know.
If he is, then his ears should be burning. But if not, I'll poke him on the side and see if that's something we can maybe add on a faster turnaround since it's already on the contracts.
Nice, awesome. I never know if Zip's eavesdropping on us or not. If so, he has not chosen to show himself yet.
I assume that means he is not, but I'll poke him.
Sometimes it means it's not. Sometimes it means that he's staying incognito. You never know. Subtle Zipper. All right. Can we have another look at a potential redesign for the toxic trait? Overall, it seems to lack in relative power to other advanced or even basic traits. Thoughts on potentially having it also have a chance to inflict poison upon being hit rather than just on the hero with toxic hitting. And then in terms of relative strength, there are some comparisons to Venom, the enchantment, as well as other advanced traits such as efficient and infect from the pet bonuses. So there's a few other, similar effects. So do we feel like toxic might not be strong enough in comparison to those?
Yeah, well, with enchanting, I think there's a pretty big overhead to have it, and it's for something that's not permanent. So I don't know that I agree that the enchanting addition makes toxic worse. If anything, it makes it better because then you have toxic plus that also happening. So you have all these different poison rolls that could occur. But we can look at potentially adding like upon being hit, applying poison. I don't think we have any status effects applying that way currently. We do have like damage that can reflect back and other things that can trigger upon taking damage, so it's not unprecedented to do, but I don't think we've done anything for status effects specifically so far. So it'd be maybe a little bit of extra work if we did it, but I'll keep it in mind. I think it's fair to look at rebalancing that and see if it should be done or not.
I do have a quick follow-up for you on that, but prior to that, Dreamer, I know you got to run, so if you any final thoughts preemptively from Dreamer?
Oh man, final thoughts. Camera on. I hope everybody had a good holiday. It's nice to hop on the AMA. Thank you for the ongoing questions. There's a lot of comments on what chain is Serendil going to land on, next. Right now we're focused on a few things, but I just want to take a step back and say, even if Serendil ends up being on 8 different chains over the next 30 years, the constant in gaming, crypto gaming, blockchain gaming, just gaming in general, in terms of the innovative future of gaming, we're trying to be the constant. Serendale can move wherever it goes if it does multiple times, and chains come and go. VCs continue to put money in things that come and go, and there's always going to be a flash in the pan. But a very clear narrative that has been established through this is we continue to build, we continue to play, we continue to innovate. No matter what happens, we're trying to do our best to make that dream come to life. So anybody and everybody that joins us along the way and helps or gives critical feedback or says one thing and we do the opposite of that negative thing and convert a follower or a player or a supporter, it's all part of the very long, hard road of building a very masterful franchise. So thank you for everybody being here. It's an interesting time right now within gaming in the space, and Twitter is continuing to be monitored. But I don't know what people are thinking or doing, but I do know that if people would talk less, speculate less, blame less, and play more, build more, we would be a lot happier as an industry. That's what we're trying to do here. So love this call. I love the questions on the classes and the future and the interest. You guys are the best. This is the true example now, leading example in the space of what blockchain can do for and within gaming ecosystem. So I have to hop to chat with the KOL that's pinging me to meet earlier than planned. So just want to say thanks for letting me join, Bulan, and I'll see you guys in the next AMAs and offline.
Thanks, streamer. We will see you again soon. All right, so real quick follow-up to the previous question about toxic is if you have any additional thoughts off the top of your head, Hubert, comparing, for example, toxic to oh god, what is it? Infect. Sorry. The pet bonus infect compared to toxic, where infect has a higher max, as opposed to something like Skin of Teeth versus Last Stand, where Last Stand has some clear benefits over the pet bonus.
Well, now we're comparing an advanced against an elite.
Well, so not necessarily comparing toxic to Last Stand, but essentially how Last Stand compares to Skin of Teeth versus how toxic compares to infect.
Right, but I mean, toxic being an advanced, I don't know that we need to have pet combat bonuses be below advanced in terms of their, I guess, effectiveness compared to being like an elite trait. But yeah, I mean, I think, Sir Worm said something as well, like, what if we changed poison to make it so, if you inflict it a second time, it increases the strength of the poison rather than, I think actually there's a bug right now where it's actually worse for it to happen. But rather than nothing happening, it doing that. And I'm potentially open to that. I think poison can be pretty strong in PvE. If it doesn't get recovered. So I'm a little bit worried about going that far, but
I am a Poison Blade maxi personally.
But yeah, I think Poison Blade, I think that works really well. You do it right off the bat. So I think there's things we can do. We can look at it.
Awesome. Thank you, Hubert. One last question, and then we will go into our wrap-up of the day. But one last one for you. When sending and or bridging heroes, could we have an indicator on which heroes in the list have power-ups on
them? Potentially.
Which I'll add, sending heroes removes power-ups.
Yeah, does auto cancel when they're sent, except for when you're bridging. I think in the context of right now in this moment, if you're concerned about still having power ups on heroes on Kaya, you could just emergency withdraw and not worry about it and send your heroes over. You're not really probably going to need to worry about those settings or anything. So for that case, yeah. But yeah, if you're sending it to somebody else, it's going to cancel them anyway. So you don't need to worry about it there. So I think actually the concern is maybe going away behind this question. If
Yeah,
that's
you could still bridge to the Sundered Isles, I guess, and want to see which ones have power ups on them. So like, there's still some use for it, but
yeah, that's a good point.
definitely less.
Yeah. Yeah, I think or maybe even like a way to filter for heroes that are not in the realm that you're on, like when you're looking at your power ups, and like looking to add or remove people from
Yeah,
them, like you can have it filter to show those ones there. That might be a different way to do it, but
nice. Yeah, that makes sense. So yeah, we'll take a look at that as well. Thank you, Hubert. Sorry, I got really distracted by this fight because I wanted to see that hero had like I think maybe 4 HP left, and I was trying to see if Lumeb was going to be able to save him or not, but he was not, and they have now died. But I got distracted by the fight. With that, we can roll into our wrap up and see if it takes long enough to see the end of this fight. I don't know that it will because they're still in a pretty good place, but it'll be interesting to see what happens in the next few minutes here.
2v1, it's kind of an uphill battle. I mean, hopefully, maybe my friendo can. I mean, I don't see how he gets a kill with a berserker and a seer.
Yeah, he's
I don't know how you
Mikey
line that damage up.
he
against
has
the
a
full
strong
life other
disadvantage.
side.
Yeah, he definitely is at a pretty big disadvantage, but I don't know that we'll see the end of it either. Although, I mean, that was a
Oh, we saw it.
hefty poison
We saw
blade.
the end of it. I'm playing.
That's fair. I mean, that was a really strong poison blade hit, but it didn't inflict poison either. So, oh, my friendo, my friendo. Anyway, I will say, as always, thank you everybody who has tuned into us live and everybody who will listen to this later. Thank you also to Winston, Hewitt, and Dreamer for taking the time out to join us up here and talk about all of these things and answer all of these questions and spectate all of these fights. Mellow Fellow, if you're talking about this fight, it's My Friendo and Toonfed. But yeah, Toonfed, man, he has just come out swinging. Thank you also to everybody who has submitted questions for us to answer. I know there are a few that we didn't get to, so they will be the first ones we take next week at the AMA. And as always, you can submit your questions in the AMA topics nope, sorry, AMA AMA questions channel in Discord. So make sure you keep them coming so that we have questions to answer. I will mention that both Christmas and New Year's Day are on Thursdays this week or this year. So we will figure something out along those lines, but I can pretty much guarantee we ain't doing an AMA on Christmas Day. And to be honest, we may not do one on New Year's Day either. So we'll figure something out. We'll keep you guys updated. It's still a few weeks away, but it just occurred to me that those are both Thursdays. So thank you, everybody. Really appreciate you guys, as always, for being here. And I now realize that what I was responding to in chat was a question about in chat, which I missed. So my bad, Mellow Fellow. Just ignore me. Hubert, any final thoughts?
Let's see. So yeah, lately I've just been like very deep into Ragnarok coding. I'm leading up the smart contract work on that right now, and so my brain is full of code all the time. Like as I'm going to bed, I'm thinking about it and realizing I forgot something, and waking up the next day and remembering that I thought of something and forgetting what it was, and then have to figure it out again. Yeah, just making a lot of good progress. I think I'm hopeful that we'll have a good amount of the core functionality into a state where we can potentially start testing with it soon, maybe next week. It's not going to be everything. There's some pieces that are going to be the last to be added. But at least to kind of get the core loop of people joining and playing and getting the results back, I think all of that is getting pretty close to being done here. So, yeah, and then we can be testing we want it to be a ranked system. So when you're dealing with elo, there are different kind of constants you have to think about and how many games it takes to rank up and all these different other things like that. So there'll probably be a decent period of like tweaking and making sure everything works and making sure it's fun and all that stuff too. So it's not close to being done, I would say, but at least like big like core pieces that are needed to even be able to start like tuning it are getting close to being done. So that's pretty exciting for me. I really want to make as much progress as we can on that as quickly as we can, just because I think it's going to be a really fun product. It's something that we are hoping will interest a lot of new players that aren't looking to like initially tackle the effort of getting into the core game and just want to see what it's like. You can go and do like little practice patrols for free right now, and that gives you a little bit of a flavor, but I think Ragnarok's going to give you a much bigger taste, since it's going to be a full-on game. You'll be playing against other players and can rank up and things like that, and it'll be free to play. So really looking forward to just getting there. I appreciate everyone's support as we've been getting into this winter season, and in the current market and everything else. It's things are not always the happiest, and so it's always great to see words of support from you guys. I see a lot of complaints as well, and I recognize those. I wish we were faster. I wish we had more people. I wish we had more money. I wish all these different things, but we're still here, and we're still building. And I think Ragnarok's gonna be really cool. So just gonna keep working on that. Appreciate all you guys. That's all I have to say.
Hubert showed me just like one piece of something related to elo and all of that stuff, and my brain has never recovered from the math.
It's pretty. It has like a quadruple. It's a 16th root, and try to do a 16th root, and it also requires like doing a power to the 400. Like, I don't know who came up with this elo formula, but you can't do a power to the 400 using uint on its own. Like it's a uint 256 is as high as you go, and you can't do it. And then so yeah, I don't know. There is somebody went and figured out like the best way to do elo on blockchain. There's a library out there that we're utilizing, but you had to basically broke it down into a 16th root and then a multiplication, and like it was cool factoring math that made it all work out. But you have kind of some strict limits on like what kind of ranges of elo you can go against. So, but yeah, I think it works. We've done a lot of testing with it, and I think it's going to be, that part of it's going to function pretty well, I think.
And now all of your brains are broken too.
Yeah, Winston. Alpha. There you go.
Yeah, right.
Right. I think it's kind of like a bit horrifying that there's already like an elo calculating blockchain. It's like, here's probably the best way to do it, and it's 400th power type stuff. Thank God that's already done now. Sorry, Bolon, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say, over to you. Any final thoughts, and then if you want to give us a sign off on behalf of TuneFed. Sure.
Yeah, our big winner today. Congratulations, Tune. He played well. I mean, he went up against some big hitters. I mean, first of all, big thanks to Dragonfly Tales, Mellow Fellow, Tune, Spassvogel, San Andres, Rising Sun, Kurt, and then Kurt was the one I couldn't remember. I had 7 of them, and I just couldn't remember Kurt, so I had to pull it back up. And then, of course, my friendo. And Tune defeated Spassvogel and Dragonfly Tales and my friendo to take the win. So those are 3 pretty serious players. Don't hate the player, hate the game. Like in this case, you hate these players, dude. They're good players. They will take advantage of your mistakes, and they'll come with a pretty strong / flexible strategy. So yeah, thanks to those guys, and thanks to everybody who's hanging out in the chat. Thanks to everybody that decided to vote on this tournament. Thanks to Stardust, who is going to be fighting me in like 15 or 20 minutes. There's still time to go vote on those. We're under the usual Hundy Mill that we see, Hundy Mill votes in the combined in the two bouts, so there's still room in there. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, thanks for hanging out. I'll keep it brief. I've already ranted and raved enough, but I'll keep it brief. Thanks for hanging out with us. Thanks for joining these hosted tournaments that we're doing. It's been pretty fun to kind of learn what people want to do and how they want to do it, and ways to get ways that people will want to come to tournaments every day. So it's been fun trying to figure that out, and I think we're getting close to that. So if you're in the chat right now or you're just listening and you want to try out tournaments, we got them super cheap, super easy to play. The people you are playing against, if you're in our Discord, they're gonna probably talk to you and like help you get better. And honestly, that's the funnest part, is like I see a lot of people talking about how the barrier for entry is intellectually very high, and I agree that it is intellectually a little bit high, but it's just like it's like steep in a good way. Like it feels, you learn a lot really fast, and you, by your third or fourth tournament, like, you know, if there's a new guy coming in who wants to check it out, you're probably going to stomp him out, you know, and it feels good. It feels good to recognize like where you were making mistakes and get better. And so that's one thing that we definitely have going on here, is the you can get a lot better really quick, and there's lots of good folks that want to help. So jump in if you haven't tried tournaments yet. Come jump in, send some dudes over to Metis, or maybe I'll loan you some dudes. And people like Toon and Dragonfly Tales will stomp you out and then tell you what you did wrong, help you get better. So I'm incredibly B-word for the future. Like it's just more and more cool stuff coming out, more and more fun stuff. And yeah, I'll leave it at that. I am very bullish for everything in the future.
Bullish. Thank you, everybody, and we will see you next week.
DeFi Kingdoms, where you can summon heroes, trade with other players, quest, and fight challenging enemies in a fantasy world brought to life in pixel art animation. Command your legion, claim your legacy.